Hello you guys, welcome back to my channel. So I ended up skipping the intro just because today has been very hectic for me and I wanted to get this beautiful set up for you guys. So the first thing that I had did was prep the nails and apply the tips, and I went ahead and buffed the outer parts of the nail and I primed and all that. So we're just going to go ahead and get into everything. So I went ahead and did this clear acrylic. The acrylic that I'm using is from Youngnails. I am thinking of switching my acrylic. I'm not really sure yet. There is some that I do want to try. If you guys have some favorites, feel free to comment them down below and maybe I could do a comparison so everybody could kind of see the difference between clear acrylics, just because I feel like a lot of times the viscosity of it is very different. So yeah, let me know what you guys use. I'm super interested in hearing what you guys have to say. I know a lot of nail techs, they do use Youngnails. But right here you guys are going to see me getting Montage nail supplies. They're black acrylic, colored acrylic, and I am just patting this into place, being very careful with the cuticle just because I feel like it is super hard to get the acrylic off for me, and I just want to make sure that I don't end up having to clean up more mess than what I need to. So I try to stay really clean when it comes to the cuticle so I don't have to go back and touch up as much. I still like to do so, but I mean, if I don't have to, I don't want to, you know what I mean? So I'm just going to go ahead and pat that into place. I'm going to go ahead and do this to all of the nails besides the ring finger and the middle finger. And sorry I'm a little bit out of frame, but you guys get the gist of it. Patting it all into place, making sure I'm very clean. And I'm just making sure to wipe and also apply. If I feel like it is super sheer in certain spots, I'll go ahead and apply more. But I'll also, with these nails, you guys kind of see like on the pinky it is a little bit thinner, but I'm going to go back and add clear acrylic to the tops of the nails once I am done with this step. But I just make sure that I have all the sides, making sure I move the nail around just so I could see the different angles and making sure that it is not uneven, just because I want it to also be even for when I do apply the clear acrylic. And I'm just going to go ahead and let you guys see what I'm doing right here and how I'm working. And future reference, I do want to kind of point out that in this video clip, you guys kind of see me working with black acrylic first, but I would recommend doing the lighter colors first. So if you guys are going to be using lighter colors, make sure to do that first, just because if you are using the same brush, which I ended up switching out my brush, I have two of the same ones, so it might look the same to you, but it is a different brush. But I really wanted to make a note of that, is just because if you are using the brush, if you're using the same brush, make sure to clean it. Otherwise, that black pigment, it is going to be inside of your monomer and your brush. So make sure you have like 2 dappen dishes of monomer, or just start out with the lighter color first and you won't have to worry about that. But in my case, I did end up having to worry about that because I did my set backwards. But yeah, so for future reference for you guys, make sure to put the darker colored first, just because you don't want to end up having to do what I do and waste more product, just because I did feel like I ended up wasting monomer because I had to dump it out. But right here, I'm just trying to get as clean of an application as I can, making sure I put the bead far away and kind of work its way in, and making sure that I have like a beautiful seamless shape. And I like to apply my bead of acrylic kind of a little bit further from it and then push my way up and making sure I get it in there, just because I find if I do it right on the cuticle at first, then I do feel like it ends up flooding the cuticle and it's just way too much. So that is my tip on that. I hope that helps you guys out just a little bit. So just let it kind of work its way back naturally, and then after push the rest of the way back with the brush. And then in this nail, I did end up getting a bigger bead of acrylic. The flow of this product is really amazing. It doesn't run all over the place, so you don't have to like kind of keep on chasing it and stuff. You kind of just have to like really pat it into place with the belly of your brush, and you're pretty much good to go. I mean, I'll pat and I kind of swipe just a little bit. The swiping is kind of just more of blending it, and then the patting is just to set it into place. And the reason why I swipe when I use the brush is just to like blend it down. But this acrylic, this is a part of their breast cancer awareness collection, so make sure to check that out. I do have a coupon code for you guys if you guys are interested. It is Lorena10, Lorena 10. So it does save you guys 10%. So if you guys are interested in their products, they have really, really good products that I really enjoy using. So yeah, if you guys are interested in saving some money and trying out some new products, make sure to check them out. They are amazing. They have a lot more stuff in store than they do have online, but online so far that is the only place that you guys are able to use the coupon code. But if you order online, and then she had mentioned that you could order online and also pick up in store. I didn't film putting the acrylic on top, but right here you see me using an 80 grit nail filer, and I'm just gonna go ahead and shape all the sides. I usually do this all in one step. Sometimes I work a little bit different depending on what I notice in the nail and what's bothering me at the moment. So right here you guys just see me making sure everything is seamless on the side, making sure that there's no beads of acrylic that had ran off the side. So I'm making sure I clean up around the cuticles and whatnot, and making sure to shape. I hold the nails down, and I kind of use my other fingers to hold the nail in place so I'm not hurting her nails. Since this is a longer set, I really want to make sure that I'm not filing and being super aggressive, because if you don't hold more towards the end of the nail and the top of the nail, I feel like I notice their nail will be like moving up and down way too much, and I feel like it is uncomfortable for the client. So I like to make sure that they're pretty comfortable. I tell them to tell me like, let me know if I'm hurting you, because I don't want this to be a painful service. And I know with long nails too, it is kind of like more movement in the nail than short nails. So I really try to make it as comfortable as I can for my clients. But right here you guys just see me going across the nails, and I'll usually touch up the sides if I have to, and right here that's what you see me doing, and I'm just going to go ahead and go across the nails. The reason why I like to do this with a hand file instead of the e-file is just because I feel like you're able to cover a lot more surface and make sure that it's all the same thickness and it's not high on one side and low on the other. So I like to do that, and it saves so much time doing it this way, you guys. I promise you, if you guys try this method, you guys, I mean, first time it might take you a little while because it is sometimes stepping out of your comfort zones and getting used to. It does take a while, but I do feel like I like this method a lot more than using the e-file. I do want to do an updated version of how I file nails, just because it is so different compared to the way I used to do it, because before I would use the e-file pretty much the whole time. Like for a while it was just the e-file. So I really do want to update you guys on the way I'm shaping nails, because I am doing a lot different than I once was. And then so right here you guys see me just getting a bit, and I'm just going to go ahead and go around the cuticle, making sure I'm not rubbing up against her cuticle. I know it is kind of inevitable if it does happen, but I really try to make sure that I stay clear from their cuticle, because I don't want to end up cutting them or anything like that. So I was just kind of explaining to her what I was doing, just because some of my clients, they do have like questions about what I'm doing and stuff. So I like to go around the cuticles and then drag it down, and if I have to touch up with the e-file, I will do so. But I also like my bit being a little bit out. I don't like to have my bit all the way pushed in. Reason being is because I feel like the barrel of the handpiece, it will end up hitting the nails, and this allows me to have a little bit more room. So that's the reason why I have it a little bit out. Depending on the length of the nails, I'll have it a little bit more out or all the way in. Usually all the way in is just because I'm doing short nails and I don't really have to worry about bumping or anything like that. So usually doing longer nails, I would have to like modify how I do the service, just because short nails it's pretty plain and simple. But you know, this is just with this hand piece. I do want to do an updated version of my review on my my Coupa Mani Passport Pro, just because I know a lot of people at the beginning, like when you first open a product, you're automatically in love with it. But I really do want to do an updated version of what I think of this drill, because I've had it for several years and I kind of just want to go over some different things that I want to talk about with the drill, just because I broke it in. I know I know basically pros and cons of it. So let me know if you guys want to see a video on that. And right here you guys are going to see me get this Mia Secret buffer, and it is a 100 and a 180 grit. This buffer, you guys, let me tell you, I've been using this ever since I first started. I love these buffers. Make sure to try these. They are so amazing. And right here you're going to see me get a brush. And the reason why I like the brush is just because you're really able to get in the cuticles and make sure that there is no extra dust in there. And so right here we're just picking out the letter that we're going to do. She decided to do a J. Make sure to check out my decals. I do have them on my shop. My shop is always going to be linked down below in the description. She decided to use the J, and I'm just trying to get that little piece out just because there are little cutouts. And I went ahead and kind of was like asking her, should we do it higher, should we do it lower? And right here, I didn't actually like the way I placed it, so I was trying to get it off. These things stick pretty good, so I was trying to get it off and from the top, and it was not working with me. So right here I finally got it to the way I like it. I like to get my push or something hard and make sure to get those edges all the way down. Reason being is just because it allows it to stick a lot better when you apply pressure. You guys don't have to apply a ton of pressure, but yeah. And right here you guys are going to see me get the Montage foil gel, and oh my gosh, you guys, I am in love with this product. I do want to do a comparison review because I do have another foil gel that I was using, but this one is pretty darn amazing. I love it. You guys are going to see that I love this gel. It makes your process so much easier. So right here you're going to see me get the gel, and I'm going to put it in the lamp for 30 seconds. I don't know if it's this one. I haven't experienced it yet. This was my first time using it. But in the Gel XR, that one I do notice that if you over-cure it, it is not good. If you overcure, you'll end up having to apply another coat and applying it in there. And I am just going to get the Youngnails Ultimate Finish Gel, and I'm going to go over the decal, and I'm only painting the tip, and I'm going to go ahead and apply it in the light, and I'm going to go ahead and let that go in there for 30 seconds. And right here you guys are going to see me cutting out this spider web out of the little foils that I had got. If you guys are interested in these foils, I do have a nail haul where I do show all of the ones that came in this pack. It did come in for $11.99, but there is a lot in the pack, you guys, and so you guys will even be able to use it for the years to come. So I feel like this is a good buy just because it's something that you guys will be able to use for a while. But yeah, so I went ahead and got that situated, and I'm just going to go ahead and apply it on the nail. She was kind of worried just because she's seen the colors from the design on there. I didn't cut those all the way out, and she was like, those aren't going to be on my nails, right? And I was like, no, if there are, like, we'll get it off. So I went ahead and pushed it down, and I was really trying not to get it on there, but I did end up getting some on there. So I went ahead and went back just because when I pulled off the foil, some of the design came off with it, and of course I need the whole design on there, so I had to go back. And I went ahead and got my Dremel and went on the places where there was a little bit of color, and this kind of allowed me to detail the spider web a little bit more too. So And right here, you guys just see her showing me that there is a little bit on the side. I'm so thankful she showed me because honestly, I think I would have forgot. But so right here, you guys could see me just going in on the side and making sure that there's no color left behind. And I'm just going to go ahead and buff over the decal. So the reason for this is just to make sure it's nice and smooth. And there is another video on this. Make sure to check it out. It's on my channel of how I like to apply my decals and why. Okay, so I went ahead and pulled out my black acrylic because we were kind of going back and forth of what we should do, and this was what we decided to do, was to do some 3D roses. And if you guys want to see kind of more in depth, I do also have a video of how I like to do my 3D roses and what I put in my solution to make it 10 times easier to do 3D flowers, just because if you guys have attempted this before, you guys know that sometimes it could be a little bit runny and it kind of just ends up being too runny and it doesn't dry as fast. So make sure to check out that video just because that is a little nail hack. But yeah, so I'm just doing this flower, making sure I place the petals kind of strategically just because I don't want it to look fuller on one side than the other, and I know I wanted to do 2 flowers on here, so I was making sure that I didn't end up kind of overcrowding the nail with a flower. I didn't want to end up making one side too big or too small, so that's why I'm being kind of careful when I do place it. Right here it was a little bit tricky, but I feel like you have to end up going over the nail a little bit, or going a little bit over the other petals and patting it into place. If you guys need to apply another bead on top of this one just so it looks nice and seamless, by all means do so. I promise you, you won't end up regretting it if you have to touch it up. Because there's times with me I've had to touch up before too. So and right here you guys are just seeing me I did that method right here just because I felt like it was too flat and too close to the nail, so I applied one petal down and I applied another one exactly on top of it, so it kind of protruded a little bit more out. These 3D roses, they are not bulky at all, I promise you guys. So if you guys are a client and you guys are watching this, these are not bulky at all. They're pretty flush to the nail. I wish I would have showed you guys from the side just so you guys could kind of see what the nails look like after the 3D art is on there, because right here you guys could kind of see it, but they are not bulky at all. Like, they're pretty flush to the nail and they're not gonna really get caught on too much stuff unless there's like kind of like a hook like texture to them. Then I could see it getting caught on things, but so far, whenever I would wear acrylic nails, I would never have that issue where it would get caught on a ton of things. So let me know what you guys think of the roses. I ended up squeezing one in on the side right here, just because I felt like it was a little bit too empty in this space, and I didn't want to have to do the rose lower. I felt like it would look a little bit off. But yes, patting this into place. And if your clients, if they do want a crystal in the center of their roses, make sure to ask them before, just because I had made the mistake of not asking, and then by the end of me finishing the roses, she had mentioned she wanted a rose in this, or she wanted a stone in the center of her rose. And when acrylic dries, I'm not able to go back and do that, so we did end up compromising and putting the stone off to the sides of the roses, and honestly I thought it still looked just as beautiful. But I mean, if you're able to do so, I still really like the stones in the center of the acrylic roses. I feel like it looks so pretty. And then I felt like it still needed a little bit more going down, so right here I decided to do a little petal. I forgot to film the part where I did do a top coat, so it is not on camera, but the top coat that I did use was the Ultimate Finish Gel from Youngnails. I've been using that for a long time. I really, really love it. But yeah, you guys, this is the finished look in the next clip. I hope you guys really enjoyed this video, and if you guys liked this video, make sure to like, comment, share, and subscribe to my channel, and as usual, I'll be back with more videos. Bye!